I'm here with the Lowepro Flipside Trek 350 and the 450. If you've been researching the bag, you should know what it's about. It's got this cool little compartment at the back here, so it's a rear entry bag, meaning if you go anywhere dangerous, you'll be safe. Loads of dividers. It's just this little section here at the top of the bag. You have this compartment here to put your raincoat, water bottle, food, etc. So I'm just going to show you how all my kit goes in, and then I'll talk about some of the features of the bag. Okay, so this is the kit that I have. This is the 350, so this is the first bag I bought. This is a 5D2 with a battery grip and an L bracket, so you can see that this is actually quite a substantial size. Telephoto, zoom, prime, just bits and bobs, cards, lens pen, mic, filters, batteries, strap, remote release. So let's just get it in the bag and you'll see the sort of thing we're dealing with the 350. Now, getting this into the bag, as you can see, it doesn't fit properly. I mean, you can zip it up, which I found caused there to be this big lump in the bag, which is obviously, maybe you can deal with it for like 10 minutes, but it's going to be horrible after a while. So you can take off the battery grip, and then the camera fits pretty snug into the bag like that. So if you do just have a DSLR, even if it's a big one that doesn't have a battery grip on, you're going to be alright. And if you want to stick in another lens, you can get your zoom in there, prime, all your bits and bobs, you can fit it in. But taking off the battery grip just wasn't a compromise that I wanted to make. That was why the 350 was a no-go for me. So this is the 450. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger. Let's get the camera in this one. So the way I'm having the camera in at the moment is on the side like that. You can see it's flush with the top of the bag. Zoom in there, mic in there, batteries in there, strap in there, filters, cable release, and then all the bits and bobs in here. One thing which I will show you is some of the dividers have a little internal divider, which is where I'm keeping memory cards and lens pen. Cool. So yeah, once that's in, it's nice and flat on the back. No weird pressure points or anything. We're all good. Cool. So now I'll show you what they're like on. Both bags are empty for the purpose of this. Probably should have zipped these up before I started. Alright, so this is the 350. So this is the 350 with the sternum strap and the hip strap side on. So this is the bag that does feel the most comfortable. Like, I feel like I could have this on all day and really not feel it that much. And this is the 450. So this actually is quite a bit bigger. You can feel like it's got more of a presence on your back. Despite only being a couple of centimeters, it does add up. There we go, we're in. So this is on the back. Now you can see like it's a lot bulkier, and you'll notice down the back here, it's wider as well. So when compared to the 350, it is just a lot wider and a lot deeper, and that adds up. That makes a big difference when you're putting in a lot of equipment. To move inside because next door's bloody dog are barking. So I just wanted to go through some of the features of this bag. So this bag is marketed as a like a combination camera bag and sort of outdoors trekking bag, hence the name Trek. So first off, obviously, as you have with any Lowepro all-weather bag, you have the all-weather cover. I can bloody undo the zip. So I'm actually storing some Optech rain sleeves in there as well. But unlike a lot of the all-weather bags, this rain cover comes from the top. I don't really know if that makes a difference or not. Probably not. Yeah, there we go. So this is really nice, especially because the bag is rear entry. So if it is a horrible rainy day, you can put the bag down on its front, get your kit out, and you know, keep the bag dry. Just going to fast forward through me putting this away. Okay, cool. So some of the other features that I like, down the front here, we have our typical, you know, front sleeve. This is designed to hold a 10-inch tripod. At the moment, I've got some CDs for my tripod legs so they don't sink in the sand. The big thing that I like about this bag is the fact that it's got separate compartments for camera gear and the stuff up here. So this is actually, this base bit here is actually a divider. So you can, if you want, you know, if you have less camera kit and more regular kit, you can actually move this divider down and give yourself more space up the top here. But I mean, this should be enough room for the bare essentials, you know, sun cream, raincoat, a bit of food. Let's go in the bag. Now, they give you way more dividers than I've shown you. I know they gave you like 10, 11 dividers, but some of the dividers, what I really like, it's just such a little thing, but it makes a difference. Some of the dividers here have a little separating bit, which you can put stuff in. So I'm actually storing memory card and lens pen in there. I'm going to take this to Vietnam and I'm going to actually review it, because you can't do a review without having used it. You know, I got this yesterday, I don't know what it's going to be like. So yeah, I'm going to go to Vietnam. I'll be right back. Okay, just got back from Vietnam for a month where I really put the bag through its paces. Let's start off with the pros. There really aren't a lot of cons with the bag, but one of my favourite things is the rear entry. So there's actually no way to access the camera compartment from the front of the camera. So obviously all your kit would go in here, and as I said, there's no way to get in. So I mean, you can walk around busy marketplaces, you can walk around city centres, and you've really got no worries about people getting in. You know, they can get to this bit and they can get to this top bit here, but unless they pull out the dividers in this top compartment, they can't get into your camera equipment. So that's a really, really nice feature, in my opinion, for your peace of mind. Now, on top of that as well, when you put the camera bag down, a lot of camera bags, you know, have front entry or rear entry. When you put the camera bag down, you actually put it down flat on the ground like this, so you don't have to get your straps muddy. One of the other camera bags I have, if I was going to put it down, but I still wanted to access the camera bag, I'd have to put it down on the straps. It's actually pretty annoying. Another feature that I really liked was the Flipside system. So I thought this is a bit of a gimmick. I used it on the slingshot, the Lowepro slingshot, and that was really handy, but I figured I wouldn't use it that much at all here, but it came in really handy. So basically, you do the camera bag up, and then when you want to access the equipment, you can spin the camera bag right the way around, and then it's in front of you here. You know, generally, I didn't really use this much, but the times that it came in very useful, there was an example of a time where we actually, you know, shin deep in a stream walking along, and I needed to get another lens out, so I just used the camera in its flip side position, and I could get all the stuff out without having to find somewhere to put the camera bag down, which I actually thought was a really useful feature. Okay, another feature that I really liked was how spacious it was. So I could get all of my kit in, as well as other things. So I got in a Nalgene 1 litre water bottle, Anchor battery pack, sunglasses case, raincoat, foods, you know, all sorts of stuff. I filled it, and there was still space. You know, when we were traveling as well, I could fit like I attached my flip flops to it. I could put a travel towel, everything. So everything fit, and that was really nice. So as far as the weatherproof cover goes, I have showed that before. I'm not going to get it out because it's a bit of a faff. It comes out from the top, and it was actually really spacious. So some of the other bags I've had, the cover is pretty snug fit to the bag, but this one is big enough to fit, you know, water bottle and a tripod strapped to the side in the waterproof cover, so none of your kit's getting wet, which I thought was really good. Another feature which I think is actually underrated is how unassuming the bag is. You know, if you look at the bag, this unless you know what Lowepro is, this is a really unassuming bag. You know, it just looks like a regular backpack. You have no idea what's going to be in here. Now obviously, if you're walking around with the tripod strapped to the side, which I was, then, you know, some more discerning thieves may know what's in there, but yeah, it just looks like a regular backpack, which is really good. So when we were walking around in Vietnam, obviously it gets really hot and humid. We weren't even there in the hottest part, and I get really sweaty. So one thing that I thought was really good about this is you have these pads. Now they kind of reminded me of those soundproof pads that you find in studios. They're kind of like what's the word? Corrugated, and this allows, you know, not an amazing amount of airflow, but enough for you to not get too sweaty. So you know, it was hot wearing this bag in Vietnam, but I think I'd have been hotter wearing other bags that were less well designed. Okay, some of the cons. Now, I am being really nitpicky with the cons. There are a few things that, you know, I really, I was searching for things that I could to improve on the bag. One of those things, I thought that I would use these front straps here for the tripod, but it actually didn't work that way. So I ended up using these side straps here. Now, the way that the tripod was strapped is this sat under the tripod head there, and sometimes it would slip down and then it would swing around because it wasn't tight. Now, on the camera strap I have, which is a Peak Design camera strap, you have these little rubberized edges, and I thought that would be a really nice addition if you just put those rubberized edges on the underside here to just give it a bit more grip. Again, super nitpicky, but I just thought that would be a nice idea. So the buckles are really weird. You know, they're kind of weird. You can't put them in all the time very easily. Again, I'm being super nitpicky here, but sometimes you're trying to put them in and they go in at a weird angle, and then they get jammed and you have to try and pry them loose. I don't really understand why you would have these buckles over regular buckles. They are pretty easy to undo. You just squeeze the sides, slightly easier than regular buckles. I would have opted for regular buckles. I really don't know why they put these ones in, but they're fine, you know, they work. Probably the biggest gripe I have is how flimsy the straps feel. They do feel quite thin. You know, they're padded sufficiently. I was never uncomfortable wearing the bag. I wore the bag pretty much every day, all day, for hours, carrying around, you know, sometimes up to 10 kilograms of kit. And I didn't ever feel like the bag was unstable or that the straps were going to give way. However, sometimes when I was walking and I had my big rucksack on my back, I would have the camera bag on my front like this, and I noticed that just in the corner here, you could see where the strap stitching was being like stretched a little bit. It didn't worry me, put it like that. You know, I saw it and I thought, oh, that's probably fine. And I mean, it was. I carried around quite a lot of weight in this bag, and it was absolutely fine. So no worries there. So just a couple of things that I actually didn't use at all. These hip pockets here. I can imagine them being really useful if you need quick access to various things. Like if you're, for example, shooting an event or a wedding or something, you could have memory cards in one pocket, and in the other pocket you could have spare batteries. That would mean you basically never had to put your bag down. I could imagine that being really useful. I actually never used this, so I can't really comment on it. I thought it was going to be very useful, considering on my Autovax ski bag I use them all the time, but yeah, I never use these. As I said before as well, I actually never use these straps here, so I can't really comment on them. I might use them in the future to put hiking poles in, but when I was in Vietnam, the only time I used these was to attach my flip-flops, so make of that what you will. Yeah, overall, I'm really impressed by the camera bag. It is by far the best camera bag I've ever bought. I've got, you know, 5 different camera bags, as my girlfriend will attest to. I have a weird desire to keep buying camera bags, but I've got a Crumpler, I've got another Lowepro, I've got a Petrol, and I've had a Centon, which was like a cheapy 20 quid one. And this is without a doubt the best one, and the fact that I only paid, I think, around just over 100, between 100 and 150 for it, makes it easily recommendable. You know, 5 out of 5, whatever, get the bag, it's great.